There were some remarkable scenes today in and around the three-storey mansion that Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor had been living in until just a couple of weeks ago. Royal Lodge on the Windsor estate had 2 police officers guarding the front door. There were more on the terrace at the back, and another 2 in the car park. A team of people, some of whom appear to be wearing blue protective search gloves, can be seen walking towards the house. Particular attention appeared to focus on an outbuilding a short walk away. Several individuals, some in uniform, some not, walked towards it and up a short flight of steps. Police were also working from a black gazebo and mobile office near the parking area. All happening in a property on the Crown Estate, once home to the Queen Mother and next to a chapel which was dear to Queen Elizabeth and frequently used by her. Given the size of Royal Lodge, 30 rooms in total, little wonder Thames Valley Police said today they would be continuing their searches here throughout the weekend. Andrew himself remains under investigation, last seen after his release from police custody in what will become an iconic image of his downfall. Despite it all, he remains 8th in line to the throne. So while he was not seen at Sandringham today, following the events of the last few weeks, a significant move from politicians tonight. The government will consider finding time to remove Andrew from the line of succession. Some party leaders had been calling for exactly that.
Once the police investigation is finished, Parliament needs to make sure it's holding Andrew to account too.
This is obviously a very significant concern for the King. This is his brother. But what I would say is that the way that he has handled this issue has been exemplary.
Andrew was arrested on suspicion of misconduct in public office. It relates to his time as a trade envoy in the early 2000s. This is a trip he took in that role to the World Economic Forum in Davos in 2009.
Nice to see you. Are you well?
He was forced to step down 2 years later. That came a few months after pictures emerged of the then prince with Jeffrey Epstein in New York, when Epstein was by then a convicted sex offender. Today, the Metropolitan Police announced they were contacting royalty protection officers who had previously worked with the former prince. The force said they have been asked to consider carefully whether anything they saw or heard during that period of service may be relevant to our ongoing reviews and to share any information that could assist us. The only member of the royal family out and about today was Princess Anne. It might be Friday and raining. Her brother might have been arrested yesterday, but the visit to the crisp factory in South Yorkshire was absolutely going ahead. Carrying on is the royal family's way of seeing off this crisis.
I think every time something happens, it is deemed at the time to be a crisis. So the Windsor Castle fire, the divorce of the then Prince and Princess of Wales, then the subsequent death, tragically, of the Princess of Wales in Paris. And there were always calls for this is a crisis, the monarchy should go, they can't handle anything. So I think it's what it happens at the time. I think when we look back on this event at the moment, in say 10, 20, 30 years' time, we might judge it differently.
That might be their hope, but it is difficult to see how this will play out for the royals when police are still searching the former home of the King's brother on the Windsor estate. Chris Ship, ITV News.
Well, let's go live to Ellie Pitt, who's at Royal Lodge in Windsor for us now. Ellie, what have you seen there today? In terms of the police action and activity and evidence gathering that we can see and film, Charlotte, it is here at Royal Lodge that has been the main focus today. We've seen uniformed officers in the grounds of Royal Lodge, but they're coming and going quite frequently through the day in quite an understated way. They're using unmarked police vehicles to come and go. Royal Lodge, obviously the home of Andrew Mountbatten for more than 20 years, but crucially it's where he lived for the most part that he held that role of trade envoy, and it's his actions while holding that position that are at the centre of this police investigation. We saw the officers leaving here at about 4:20 this afternoon. Their work finished for the day, but not over. These extensive searches of the property continuing across the weekend and possibly into Monday.
Ellie, thanks very much. Our royal editor Chris Shipp is here. And Chris, how quickly could Andrew be removed from the line of succession, and where would that leave him?
Well, look, it's worth probably explaining about this line of succession. At the moment, Andrew is 8th in line, so you've got William and his 3 children, George, Charlotte, Louis. You've then got Harry and his 2 children, Archie and Lilibet. Then you've got Andrew. In order to remove him from this line of succession, it needs some form of legislation. A lot of parliamentarians and others have been saying, do we really want to waste time, parliamentary time, with everything else going on? Well, it looks like, from what we hear, the government will make time available so that he can be removed. So it's finding the time, but I think if it were found, it won't take that long. If you just think of what happened, you know, they said previously, oh, we can't get rid of the Duke or the Prince. They found a way around that. There are ways and means of doing these things, and they've done it before, and it looks like it's kind of like the final thing, isn't it? You've lost the Duke, the Prince, you've been booted out of your house, which is, we've just been seeing, being searched by police, and now we are going to find the parliamentary time, if we can, to remove Andrew from the line of succession.